and I'm gonna see if we can get some extra promotion through Facebook or not.
Okay, I hope. Yep.
Picking up.
I think we're live. Okay, so what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the DrivingMaul post-match review of Jaguares versus Chiefs Super Rugby quarterfinal. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. We've had some technical difficulties this morning. My name is Michael Pullman. Thank you for being here, and thank you to Paul for letting me host the show. I am joined by the one, the only Herman. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty fine, but it's 7 o'clock here in Thailand, so if I say anything stupid, you know the excuse why. I'm very tired and very drunk by this moment.
That is totally fine. So, I do have to apologize to all the viewers because I just can't get your Skype feed into OBS. So, I can hear you, but I definitely can't see you on stream. So, but best is in the knowledge that they can hear you, Herman.
Yeah, but we'll catch up with them, won't we?
We will. We will.
We will. We will.
I've got a little window here for stats as we go into the.
Actually, Michael, if we probably, since we have some technical difficulties, we should probably pick up with them a little bit extra tonight.
Sorry, what was that?
So maybe since we have some technical difficulties tonight, we should probably pick up with our few viewers a little bit extra tonight.
Yeah, we will. We'll talk them through everything that happened in that quarterfinal, and yeah, we'll talk through it. So first off, the result, the most important thing, as you know, the Jaguares have beaten the Chiefs. It ended 21-16 over in Buenos Aires. The Jaguares scored 2 tries to the Chiefs 1. And there's a lot to get through in this game. So, first and foremost, Herman, what was your initial reaction from?
Well, to be, I know you're a Chiefs fan, Michael, so I will go easy on this. But I thought it was a little bit like a poor test game, not like a great. It was the game had a test vibe about it from the beginning, but it was not a great test game, if you know what I'm coming from.
Yeah, definitely. I felt, I felt that there were a number of handling errors. The line out was an absolute shocker as well. So yeah, to start off, the Jaguares took the lead thanks to a 22. Sorry, try in the first.
Yeah, it was within 3 minutes. Yeah, it was Pablo Matera. It was,
Yeah, and it came off a Chiefs handling error, which would be a theme.
From the kickoff, from the kickoff. Yeah.
Yeah, theme of the night. They instead of clearing their lines, they decided to throw the ball out, and I think it was Tarval lost the ball, and then Matera powered over after a few phases, and at that point, you know, it was like, oh, here we go. What sort of Chiefs side has turned up to this game, and you know, the power of the Jaguares forward pack was really impressive, wasn't it?
It was, and that was probably the worst start the Chiefs could have got to this game to get an early try against, because I thought Chiefs' big opportunity was to get like a pretty loose game with lots of like free throwing ball all over the pitch, and with Jaguares getting the lead so early, it always meant it's going to be a very tight, more like almost like soccer-ish played game type of style of knockout game. Like the Chiefs never really. We have a lead 10-8, but did they ever touch the ball when we were lead with 10-8 to build a comfortable lead?
No, I mean the next few 20 minutes or so after that first try, it was a lot of try and fail from the Chiefs' perspective. Some great defense from the Jaguares, but Nathan Harris, I think in that first 20 minutes he gave away 2 penalties. I think he missed 2 line-out throws. Brody Retallick was dropping the ball. Dron was dropping the ball. I mean, the the key players for the Chiefs were making some some pretty basic errors, and Sean Stevenson. Yeah, Sean
And
Stevenson nearly going over in the corner, but putting the foot on the line. So eventually,
I agree, Michael. And this was always bound to be like a very, very even game. I don't think anyone, even with like the most Jaguars bias or Chiefs bias, would ever say this would be more than 7 points in this one. It would go down the wire all the way. So for the Chiefs to give away a pretty softish try in the first 3 minutes was, yeah, it probably decided the game when looking back on it. Maybe a bit harsh, but you know where I'm coming from.
yeah, no, you're definitely right, and I think it was sort of like the you can look at 2 moments in this game. The start of the game, that first 20 minutes where the Chiefs just had zero intensity, where everything was going the Jaguares' way, and then the last 20 minutes of the match, where I don't know how much ball the Chiefs actually had in that second half. I don't think.
In the last 20 minutes, not much
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, not much.
That's a very fair, Michael, very fair.
So eventually the second points of the game came off the boot of the Jaguares. They extended their lead through to 8 points to nil, and then in the 27th minute, Brad Weber, who has had an outstanding season, absolutely fools the Jaguares defense, gets through the line, and then sets Lachlan Bashir free for a runaway try against the run of play. Yes. And the Chiefs were suddenly back in it.
They were. I mean, and it's to the credit of the Chiefs. I mean, this is, in my opinion at least, this is a very good Jaguar side, and they were right in it to pretty much the last 5 minutes. They were. They could easily have won this game.
And
so you can, so you can't be too hard on Colin Cooper and the Chiefs. This was a tough game. It's always going to be a tough game to play away against the Jaguars and a home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah, considering the fact that they played away last week against the Rebels, some of the players came back to New Zealand for, less than 24 hours, and then they flew back to Australia and then on to Argentina. You can't be too hard on them. I mean, it's hard to win over in Argentina, but having said all that, what will really disappoint the Chiefs in particular will be just the basic errors, the line out misses, the handling errors, and when you've got, and it was surprisingly it was their bigger players. Anton Leonard-Brown was fairly quiet tonight.
But don't you reckon they target him like a lot? A lot. I would say Jaguars had made a game plan. They did their homework. They gave Anton Leonard-Brown absolutely no space whatsoever, anytime. So I think, it was not a vintage performance by ALB, but the opponents was definitely prepared for him, I would say.
Defensively, the Jaguars played not perfectly, but pretty darn well. Like you said, they marked the men that they needed to. Similar to the Highlanders early in the game last night. They took care of the likes of Owen Franks and Sam Whitelock. The Jaguars did that tonight. They marked and they kept Brody Retallick at bay.
Agree. Highland probably undid themselves with like 2-3 really stupid mistakes in the second half. But they're always going to be into a struggle against Crusaders. But if you give away a stupid yellow card and 1-2 like really stupid penalties, when you like the Franklin one, you remember the Franklin one?
Yep.
I mean, you can't beat Crusaders if you gave penalties like that. You can't. You just can't. And to be to be fair on Crusader and on the Chiefs, they didn't give away that many stupid penalties. They didn't. But Jaguars' defense was not for full 80, but at least for like 65 minutes, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was. And after that try to Bashir, it kind of the Chiefs really started to get into their work, and then going in at halftime, I'm pretty sure it was 8 points.
10-8,
Yeah,
yeah.
10-8
10-8.
at that point. And then the first 5 minutes or so of the second half, the Chiefs did really well. They went down.
They did.
Got a couple of penalties. Jack DeBrasini kicking a goal in the 44th minute. Martin McKenzie in the 48th minute to take it to 16 points to 8 at that point. However, a point of concern for the Chiefs, not that it really matters now, I guess, but Jack DeBrasini leaving the field with groin injury. He looked like he did it kicking a goal. Had a quick word to the medic, and they said, no, stay out there. Moments later, he kicks again, and probably made it worse. So in a way,
he's no Dan Carter, is he? He's no Dan Carter, Jack DeBrasini.
No, it's not. And I felt that DeBrasini was controlling that back line pretty well, and Marty McKenzie just didn't have the same impact coming off the bench. And then from that moment on, it was basically all Jaguares. Maroney going over in the 52nd minute with just some brilliant passing to lead to that second Jaguares try. But really it was their time in the red zone, inside that 22, building up pressure and maintaining possession.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree with you, Mike. And I mean, in a way, this was pretty impressive from Jaguares because before the game, I guess we all felt that Chief was coming in like on a high, on a proper high. We were looking like the informed team in Super Rugby of all teams, actually, not only like on this quarterfinal, but of all teams. Chiefs looked like to be the informed team of all of them. And if we tried to be smart before the game, you were probably going like, I hope that the Jaguar is like playing a proper test game. Like, don't invite the Chiefs to any kind of unstructured game. Just make the Chiefs earn every single point. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the Jaguars here because that's exactly what we did. Because this Chiefs team they lost tonight. Okay, they did. But this is a fine team. If you challenge this Chiefs team, even if you be Crusaders, if you challenge these Chiefs teams to running rugby, and yeah, let's go for it, boys. Like, let's throw it around and see who wins. Most teams will find themselves losing against these Chiefs teams, for sure.
That's it. And I mean, for all the talk of the Chiefs not having any possession, which, they struggled in that second half, but they actually had more possession, only by 2%.
But still, it's a fair point.
Yeah, 100%. For me, what I was really impressed with from the Jaguares, like we've said, was the defense, and when the moments came, it was the ability to execute and set play. Their line out was far superior tonight.
No, I agree with that, Michael. And this might be a little bit premature. We will see when the World Cup come around. But how do you say this in rugby terms? I mean, I didn't grow up in a proper rugby nation, so not like the pack, but without the front three, like the backpack, from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Those 5 players. What do you call them? I don't know, like the backpack. Let's just call them a backpack for the fun of it.
The back row.
Back row is usually only like 8, 7, 6. It doesn't include 4 and 5. Okay, but anyway, you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And this Jaguars team, they got I actually say like most of us are underestimating their like back row pack or back row 5 or whatever we call them, because okay, you got Decio, Legissimon, and Matera, especially Matera. I think Matera is, by this point, is impossible to ignore. He's probably like the forward of Super Rugby this year. He's so good. I mean, you can speculate by world class as much as you want, but that guy is proper world class. And Lavanini and Petty looks. I mean, that's Tyler Arden and Brody Retallick, which is probably like two among the best locks in Super Rugby. And did we get any kind of dominance over Lavanini and Petty? No, not even close. They were dominated.
They were, and I mean, if they were completely dominated. They were outclassed, and I think the impact of like Creevy, you know, he's been around for such a long time, but I think the way he inspires, you know, the guys around him, even though he's usually only out there for 15 minutes, can't be understated either. But you know,
he's special. I agree with you. Yes.
There's a comment in the chat here, and I totally agree with Sebastian. He says the Jaguares look like a proper Kiwi attacking team, and that, you know,
they do, which is so weird. It's like a fucking sorry, pardon my English, but an RG team looked like a proper Kiwi team. How did that happen?
I think it's mindset. You know, I really think it's that flair style of rugby that the Jaguares have played and the Pumas have played previously, and I mean, where the problems lie in that is obviously it's high risk rugby, and I think, you know, that being at home, having the lift of the fans, it really did the Jaguares the world of good. I don't think they would have had the same composure were they playing this game away from their own backyard. You know what I mean?
I agree with you totally, Michael. I agree with you totally, but it's still rather impressive because you're a Kiwi, Michael, and you're a Chiefs fan, and you've seen your team like win so many times when they actually haven't played that good, but they just still win it because the structures are so good. And it's kind of weird watching this Jaguares almost Pumas team. Okay, all fans watching this, they're like 3 players that walk right into the Jaguars side without being in the Jaguars. Might be 4 or 5 in the end.
Yeah.
But in the end, this is the test team you're going to see. And okay, this is the Chiefs. This is not the All Blacks, but it looks pretty impressive, you know, because they. One thing we can all agree with, like compared to Australian sides of late, Jaguars don't give away cheap tries. If you want to try against the Jaguars, you better earn it. You better earn it.
You know, and if they can take that formula into the Pumas and play like that in Japan, and they'll get a good build up, they'll get good practice, you know, playing in the Rugby Championship prior to that. But they can do that in Japan. I think they'll go a long way, and they'll be you know, in the finals again. So.
Oh yeah, I agree. They could like realistically reach a finals this time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Jaguars going to win, like Los Pumas going to win the World Cup, but they're good enough to go like all the way to the final. They are. There's like no denying of that.
So in the second half, the Jaguares scored a total of 13 points versus the Chiefs just scoring 3.
So 13-3 in the second half.
Sorry, 6 points in the second half for the Chiefs.
6. Okay,
so yeah, that try proved to be all important. And also, you know, the Chiefs missing one of their kicks at goal. But for me, when I look back on this, it's just that it's not that the Chiefs weren't in a position to win this game. They were right until the end.
They were.
The defense from the Jaguares spurred on by their home fans, and then, you know, they now get a home a home semi-final. So I guess just to wrap this up, from a Jaguares standpoint, Herman, what are your feelings heading into next week?
To the final round, Sarah. Yeah. Okay, I share with you. Okay. So, the Highlanders of today, they were solid enough in the first half to challenge the Chiefs, to challenge the Sailors. But I'm actually like firmly believe that the Hurricanes, they will be up for it. So and that means based on what I'm saying, that the Hurricanes will up for it. If they beat the Sailors in Christchurch, they will go to Buenos Aires for the grand final, and that way will give Jaguars a fair chance of winning. To go to Crusaders, to go to Christchurch and win it for Jaguars, nah. I mean, they could do it, but that would be like the mother of all upsets in the rugby world, at least in the Super Rugby world.
Who do you think the Jaguars are going to have a home semi against either the Brumbies or the Sharks?
Jaguars going to win 100%. 100%. This is like too good for them because the first playoff final, you don't have that much of a travel advantage. Okay, the Brumbies, they've been at home in Canberra for now, so all they got to do is to go to Buenos Aires now. But that's not like, as Chiefs have just proven to us. Chiefs beat the Jaguars before in the Super Rugby season. This is not an easy game to go at all. I back Jaguars basically against any team except the Hurricanes and the Sailors for that semifinal. And we're not going to play any of them. So Jaguar, for me, Michael, I might be wrong, and you feel free to give me an uppercut if I'm wrong. But yeah, Jaguars are bound for the final for sure. And if it's going to be against the Hurricanes or the Crusaders, that we will see.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Crusaders have a fair chance. I'm not like 100% sure even Crusaders going to beat the Bulls tomorrow because Bulls is like 100% full strength tomorrow. 100% full strength. And when they have Vermeulen and Pollard and all the big boys with them, they can hurt Crusaders. I mean, sorry. They can hurt the Hurricanes for sure. They can. I mean, we can sing. Ardi Sevilla has been like how to say, like a wizard this season. But if there's any player who can put the cold water on Ardi Sevilla, it's Dwayne Vermeulen, isn't it?
Yep, 100%. Just from a Chiefs perspective, I guess there were a couple of things in this game that really concerned me. I guess it does matter because these guys are going to potentially be around next year. I mean, Nathan Harris.
They will.
Nathan Harris was terrible. I mean, that was one of his worst games in the Chiefs.
Although we're up against a proper pack this time around. Yeah, we cannot forget that. This was a test. I mean, in the Pumas, Figallo and Isa is going to be only replacements in this pack. The rest is of the Argentinian test pack. It is. And Chiefs are an awesome side, but this is a good side we're facing.
Yeah, but I know. I mean, I just mean from that execution standpoint, Nathan Harris was terrible tonight, and he gave away, more than a handful of penalties. Also, some of the decisions, I think, to take Brad Weber off with 20,
that was a shocking one, wasn't it?
25 minutes to go. I just, I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest. I mean,
that one I agree with you, Mike, because I think most of us have been watching all the Kiwi games of Super Rugby this season. Brad Weber has been like the best, not only third best, he's been the best scrum half of the season, hasn't he?
Yep. And I mean, that could very well be the last time that we ever see Brad in a Chiefs jersey. I mean, like, there's a whole lot of misinformation out there, but as far as I'm aware, he hasn't re-signed. So
what are you saying? If he doesn't get an All Black opportunity, he's gone?
I believe that. Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
You're not Einstein for thinking that, but it makes sense.
100%. So yeah, the Jaguares they have confident knowledge. They'll have a full week to prepare. They won't have to travel. Um, and yeah, as Herman says, they can probably lock in. Uh, they'll have to play just as well as they did today, if not better. To
I'm
win.
not sure. I'm not sure actually. Sorry for being like too frankly, but Sharks and Brumbies, are they gonna present a bigger challenge for Jaguares at
Uh,
home because they have to travel to Buenos Aires now?
I think they
It's
will.
gonna
And
be tough for either of them. It's gonna be Jaguares gonna walk into that game like proper favorites, don't you reckon?
I don't know about that. I mean, this is semi-final. It's the first time the Jaguares have ever been in this position. There's a lot riding on this, and that will be, the Argentinian rugby. They play on passion. They're very well aware of their own heritage. They'll be aware of what this moment means, not only for the game there, but also this competition. And I mean, I
Yeah.
said to my mate earlier, there is every chance that there could be a Super Rugby final, um, in Argentina. But it's just, I think
Yeah.
that will be on these guys' minds, and if they can ride that, it's all going to be about preparation for me. I mean, it's straightforward for either the Brumbies or the Sharks. They'll travel there. They'll be underdogs. They can slip under the radar and go about their business. Everyone's going to be focusing on the Jaguares this week, and that will do a lot. So I don't think it's a sure thing at all. I just yeah, if they play as well as they did tonight, they'll come close, but they'll have to step it up a wee bit more.
No. Fair point, Michael. Fair point. But the only thing this is only the first day. We got two more games to come. But these two first games, they proved pretty much what we already knew. But the top four in this season's regular seasons are a step above the rest. It seems like they are.
100%. And I guess just quickly, um, for the Chiefs, back to the drawing board.
Yeah,
That I they've done well to reach where they got to this
they
season.
did. They did. And
Yeah,
fair of you racing that. Fair of you racing that.
they did
They were
really well.
0 in the beginning of the season, weren't they?
Yeah, they were 0-4.
I mean, yeah, but basically mean that you're out of it, and they were like with inches of beating the form team of a competition.
And I mean, as the commentary team said tonight, they've been playing knockout football for the last month, literally, and
Yeah,
can only you can only win so many games. I just think that Colin Cooper, I'm sure he'll be there next year, whether or not he wants to be is another thing. But yeah, just another tough grind out season, and the Chiefs, above all else, they're certainly living up to Chiefs mother and what that means. So Herman, thank you for joining me. I know
thank you,
you are.
Michael. Thank you, Michael. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I know you're a ghost on social media, so there's nowhere where people
I'm a secret man. I'm a secretive man.
can find you. So
But I
guys,
can for Argentinian fans. Vamos, vamos, Argentina, na 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 na, oh na na. That's like a soccer song for Argentinian fans when we win.
well, don't break out too quickly. I mean, there's another 2 weeks to go. So
There's another one New Zealand fans should do about Brody. It's about Maradona, but I think it's like in Italian, like oh mama, 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 oh mama, 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 oh he, oh hoy, oh ese corazón. Like oh mama, it means like in English, it's like oh, mommy, 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 I love Bowden. Like please open my eyes and show me the truth. Oh mama, mama. Good for
100%. Herman's a bit excited over there. So, guys, if you want to find me, hit me up on Twitter. I am at Real Mike Pullman. You can follow me there. And yeah, we talking all but everything rugby.
We do.
Over there. So yeah, thank you for Paul for letting me host the show. I believe he's somewhere out with his family today. So yeah, shout out to Paul. He will be back, I believe, tonight with the Hurricanes.
He will.
Yep, versus Bulls. Thank you to Herman for joining me. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Michael.
For watching, and we will see you in the future video. Peace, guys.
And let's not forget that Michael is a Chiefs fan. What a sport he is to do with. Just so you know.